Hi, I'm McCurry. I'm this year's Grab-N-Go winner for LACA. It was sponsored by Schoolbridge, and today I'm going to show you how to make the Jamaican patty, which is vegan and egg-free, and I hope you're going to enjoy it. So here we go. Okay, so first of all, what you would need to do is to cut and chop, but to save time, I've prepared it for you earlier. So we have, first of all, we have 100 grams of chopped very finely onions, and the reason we do that is obviously to help it cook quicker, but also for the children, it's a better texture. We're putting in some oil, and we're just going to fry off the onions for you. Okay. In with that, I'm going to put 100 grams of garlic puree, okay, to give it some flavour, and then just let that sweat down. So normally I would let that sweat down and go quite translucent before I popped in the vegetables. Okay. Now the vegetables we're using today, we have some very finely chopped courgettes, okay, some sweet potato, very finely chopped again, and some spinach. Okay, so that's all going into this pan. Now I'm going to let that sweat down, and as that's cooking, and because it takes a bit of time, I'm going to leave that go, and when it gets all cooked through, we would add on top of that, we would add some lentils. So this is where the protein comes from, and it actually gives it the texture as well. So there's 200 grams of lentils, so that's going in there as well. Okay. Right, that's going to take about 10 minutes in that pan, but we need some flavours. So to add some flavour, we've got some black pepper, okay, 2 milligrams, quite a bit really, to be honest, for this size dish. Okay, and then we have 2 milligrams of cumin. It's quite a hot, spicy flavour really. But the children here like flavours. Yeah, so anyway, so we've got ginger as well, so give it that warm. So that's all going in. Right. Mixing it all up. You see that? Yeah? So it's starting to come together now. And then on top of that, we're going to put in the stock. I put the water in there already just to melt it down a bit. Right. So we're going to let that just tick over. And as that's ticking over, I do need to put the tomato puree in though, sorry. I put the tomato puree, but it's fine, just pop it in. Just let it cook out. Yeah, as that's cooking out, I'm going to turn it right down. There you go. Then I'm going to show you how to make the pastry. Now the pastry is flour, just plain flour, and butter, which I've chopped up earlier. Okay. And then all you do with those is mix them together, but to give it the colour, we're putting in turmeric. Okay. So you pop the turmeric in, and then you chop up the butter small, pop that in, and then you mix it as if you're making fine pastry. Okay. Now when you do that, what will happen is it will come out just like that. Okay. So then you've got something that resembles breadcrumbs. So you make a little well in the middle, and you would put just enough cold water. Now I like to use my hands for this because I've got more control and I can feel if it's coming away from the edges, you know, if it's going to be the right texture. Okay, but you can do it in a mixer if you're making it en masse. Okay, there's nothing to stop you. So yeah, so I can feel the, you know, the absorption of the flour, because I find that flours tend to, you know, if you find a recipe that tells you a certain amount, that it can be changed because it can be drier or it can be, you know, a little bit more absorbed, take more moisture. Okay. So as you can see, it's starting to come away from the edge of the dish. Okay. And then we're just going to make it into one ball. It's going to stick quite a lot now. Okay. All right. I think that's just a tad more. Now, pastry, for me, it's a simple thing, but it just doesn't like a lot of work. And that's what I found. You know, it just doesn't like a lot of touching. So, once that's brought together, I would then let that rest for a while. Okay. So I'm going to leave that over there just to rest for a while. Okay, and while that's doing, yep, that's coming on this side. Okay. And then all that's left then is to build the patties. Right, so to build the patties, and again, here's what I made earlier, because this pastry is already melted. It's already, there you go, got a nice golden colour, isn't it? Yeah. So, I'm going to take that off now. And then when it's finished, this is what it's looked like, okay? And what you can do with that is you can leave it to cool right down. I would normally take it out of there, put it on some ink, and just let it cool right down. Okay. Then we're going to make the pastry. Now to make the pastry, just a little flick of flour on your side, not too much, because otherwise you're going to add to the mixture. Okay. And then just a little bit more on my hands, just so it's a bit moister than I thought. We're going to make like a shape like a ball, okay? So, you just roll away from you and turn. That's it. Roll away from you and turn. Might need a little bit more flour, but try not to put too much in because then you're going to change the recipe. A little bit of turn, and turn, and turn. And see, I'll just reshape it as I'm going round, you know? So there you go. Okay. So, you want it nice and thin because otherwise it won't cook properly, it will be doughy, yeah. The best pastry is always the thin ones, I always find anyway. And there we go. So when it gets to about, I'd say, there you go, very thin, as thin as you can go really, I suppose, without being translucent. I'd use a plate, one of our school ones, and just pop it there, okay? And then I would cut round the edge, okay? And once I've cut round the edge, let me just grab my knife, sorry, yeah. Just cut round the edge. This is a nice circular. Now, to not have to move it as much as I need to, as I'd pop it on the dish now, like this. There you go. And then I put my packet full of all them lovely goodness, you know, the tasty veggies and bits and pieces and lentils and everything. Now, this is a vegan dish, so normally with pastry you would, you know, someone egg wash it or milk it, but we're not going to do that today. We are just going to put water around the edge and then fold it in, okay? So normally you put water around the edge and fold it in, press it over, and then we're just going to make a little pattern along here with a fork, okay? And just literally press the fork. You can be as inventive as you like, you can do little twirls or whatever you want to. And then that would simply go into the oven for 20 minutes, okay? Now, when it's finished, this is how it looks. Okay, there you go. And I'll just show you what it looks like in the middle as well. So, there you go. And that is it. The vegan Jamaican patty from Nourish Catering.